Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Wish You Were Beer show. Thank you so much for stopping by and joining us. If you're unfamiliar with this show, this is a weekly live beer review show that we do every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, here through YouTube. We also stream it through Facebook and Twitter as well if you want to find us there. Yep. Vero led right into the conversation. Please make sure that you go down to our About section, like, subscribe, follow us throughout our social medias. Be sure to visit our website, wishyouwerebeershow.com.
Not you.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I got confused, like weatherman confused. I was like, what are we pointing at? But make sure you follow us along everywhere we are, social media. The website's probably the best place to get the catalog of past episodes and our schedule of what we have coming up as well. Mm-hmm. So follow along with us. If you're on Untapped, make sure you hang out with us there as well. That's what we use to check in all of our beers and keep a roster of our beers that we've had on the show and individually. So you can find all that down in the About section where you can hang out with us more than just for the show tonight. So hello from Santa Cruz. I don't know this person.
It's my mother.
I know it is. Let the vagina jokes roll.
Nope.
Oh, no. Okay.
My mom.
Hi. Andy, Katie,
Hello.
glad you guys stopped by as always.
Hello.
Thank you.
God, that's a great idea, Katie.
That's a phenomenal idea.
Yeah. She doesn't know that we think it's good.
How do I go?
It's a really good idea.
Yeah, bad
Katie.
idea. No,
No, you gotta say it's a good idea because you can't hear.
I love it. So again, we're gonna review a new beer tonight, like we always do. We're gonna try a different beer. We try to get the breweries on with us. Tonight, the brewery unfortunately wasn't able to join us. They were really kind to reach out and give us the reasons why, and they were pretty proactive about not being able to be on the show, which is nice because a lot of times you kind of don't really hear something, or they ghost you after they say
ghosting,
maybe. Yeah, I don't want to say ghosting.
Well, it's kind of what you did for me the first 6 months we were.
Well, let's not get into that. Also, I don't want to be the person, and maybe we subscribe to different schools of thought, but I don't want to be the person that stereotypes ghosts because I don't know ghosts. So I don't want to be.
I've seen the movie.
I've seen the movie, but Patrick Swayze.
Oh, no one ghosts Patrick Swayze.
No one ghosted him. No, well, I mean, other than Patrick Swayze, he
ghosted himself.
He was a ghost.
He's dead now.
I mean, he didn't do it to himself.
I mean, technically.
Whatever. Semantics.
All right.
What are you drinking, Phil?
So when we get back into our Hollywood Reporter podcast, that is on Wednesday evenings.
It's a good one.
It is a good one.
Yeah.
It's like TMZ minus the snazziness. What are you drinking, Phil?
Just another thrilling Heineken. I'm in my last week here on the island before I take a little bit of a break. So I'm very much looking forward to getting away from the basic beers that are available here.
However, though, I got to feel like you've earned a new appreciation for Heineken and some other things.
I did. I mean, I do enjoy the little mini Heinekens that make my hands look big.
They're always that size.
You look like Shaq drinking a water bottle.
Yeah, pretty much. Just, So it's funny. I have, it's kind of like how I used to drink beers in my 20s. Like it didn't matter what beer it was. You just grabbed a beer, you went, you drank like 6 of them and you were fine. So it's going to be weird to get back into the world of like those like 8%ers that are like heavy.
Good luck.
But you can't complain. I mean, I live on an island in the Caribbean. So
yeah, and honestly, even your statement prior to that was like, well, it's my last week here before I take a break. I don't know if everyone follows Phil individually on Instagram, but Phil lives on a break and then likes to complain about needing a break. I'm still not sure how this works. But every day I see you, you're like, just walking down the beach, just jet skiing my balls off. And you're like,
look, it's tough. All right. It's tough. I got to wear sunscreen. I got to like prepare for the beach. Like you know how much sand I have in this apartment?
Whew. The amount of vacuum bags you must go through. I assume you have a vacuum with a bag.
It's very old.
Gabriel gets it up in Maine. He knows exactly the type of lifestyle I'm living.
The only thing Gabriel gets up in Maine is his fair share of lobstermen.
Oh, he goes through them.
Goes through them, boy.
God, let's just say Gabriel is market price.
Market price. And tastes better dipped slightly in butter.
Makes sense. Checks out.
Makes perfect sense. And I apologize. I made a huge mistake at the beginning of the show, and I just want to make sure that I clarify, that I made a mistake. I do know Ghost. Because too many states. No, but
in my head, I'm like, what offensive thing did Daniel say? And I completely missed it.
Exactly. That's what I saw you thinking that.
No, I was just over here like, I'm sure you have something to apologize for, so I'm just waiting to hear.
I'm sure there's something.
She takes out her notebook. She's like, what's he apologizing for today?
I didn't introduce us. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm Daniel. This is Tiffany. This is our good friend Phil on the other end of the screen.
/world.
/world. So, yes, that was all. I just didn't introduce us, and
Thanks.
That's you gotta hit those points every show based off of what I've been reading, which is not
been doing a lot
books.
of reading.
See, exactly. Thank you, Andrew. It's nice that you brought that up. So yes, I am Daniel, which I feel like I made pretty apparent, but you still called me Dan. That seems kind of weird.
Listening is always.
Andrew, are you on mute as well?
He might be.
So, all things being equal, though, I assume we are going to have a beer tonight.
We are.
I mean, I'm having a beer currently.
I am also having
Phil's drinking a Heineken. What are you drinking?
A Mexican lager that I found in the back of the fridge.
Yeah. We consistently shop the back of our fridge randomly, and we're like, oh, I didn't realize this was even in here.
Well, so usually the fridge is full of those like 8+ percenters because we bring them home so that we can actually drink them because we can't drink them in person at the brewery without
you get shithoused.
Right. Without like needing a DD. And so we have those, but they go really slow because very frequently am I like just wanting a like standard lager or like something like light. And so I go in and I'm like, well, I don't want a sour or a 10%. So yeah, I was like, I wonder what's back here. And I was like, oh my God, there's a Mexican lager. So very excited. What is it? Don Pablo?
Pablo?
No,
yeah, I don't remember who made it though.
I think that's the name of the brewery.
No, the name of the brewery is something different.
Oh, well, whatever. It's good.
I checked it in. You can find it
in.
on our Untapped, which is down.
What are you drinking, Daniel?
Section. I'm actually having a tradition beer. I'm having a cold IPA that is named after Kevin's dog, which if you follow the show, Kevin's a good friend of ours, and his dog is a poodle mix named Ozzy. So this is Ozzy.
Oi.
I think it's just Ozzy.
It's a picture of his dog, and it's superimposed upside down as well. But my favorite is the tagline on the side that our other good friend Abby.
Thanks, Abby.
Thank you, Abby. It says Ozzy Paulsborn, Prince of Barkness. Get the fuck out of here. All right.
I think I love like a brewery like tradition and some of these breweries that just kind of are allowed to have fun. They just put whatever they want on the can. They just kind of whatever they want to call their beer, they do it.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of those type of breweries. And so I'm intrigued by tonight's beer because I think we're doing the exact opposite.
Correct. I am also interested for that same reason.
Yeah, because this beer that we're doing tonight doesn't even have a name for the beer, really. And the brewery looks so generic it hurts. But at the same time, I totally respect it. It's a clean looking can here, but we're doing Harland Brewing's Hazy IPA.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we talked about this last week about the base level of the can and like the nondescript name of it, or very descript name of it, I guess I should say. But when I was going through some of their information, not all their beers are like that. They had a couple of really like clever named beers and a couple of really good can arts. And I was like, oh man, this really makes me interested in this beer. Like what's going to be the game changer on this beer that they were like, fuck it, call it Hazy IPA because it doesn't matter what it's called. It's so good.
Or it's like a whatever, like just a.
Did we send you a shirt, Gabriel?
He bought himself a birthday shirt.
Okay, I was like, we didn't even send him a birthday
I got
shirt.
an email.
We're the fucking worst.
Thanks for supporting the show, Gabriel. Thanks for spending 1 week or 1 hour every week with us and then buying your own shirt. We appreciate it.
Multiple times. I think he has the record for the most items of merchandise purchased.
Wait.
And that might even be more than the like three of us.
Yeah, because we obviously have to buy some of our own stuff occasionally. Gabriel, did you get the I wait all week for this shirt?
He did.
Surely you had to, right? It has your name on it.
Yeah.
It's
I know. We should have thought ahead of time and sent him the actual birthday shirt that we have online. But once again, that involves thinking more than 1 hour before the show to remember that we're doing the show.
Yeah.
Tiffany, we have a birthday shirt?
I need it for next week.
Well, I don't think you're going to get it in time.
Nope. She ships slow.
But yeah, so I'm thinking that maybe this beer was maybe one of their early ones, because I'm thinking when they opened up, maybe they just kind of did styles first, and then once they became a little bit more successful, they started getting more creative. That's my guess.
I don't think we're going to cover that, but I think that's a safe guess.
I did my research, and I still don't know if that's true or not.
I did not do any research.
I love it. So obviously, if you followed the show before, we are going to review this beer eventually, but I think before we even get into that somebody has just, no cap, made a beautiful video of him. I assume.
I hired a local crew to go over there.
Oh, you hired a local crew from St. Martin to go to San Diego?
Yeah. I didn't hire someone in San Diego. I hired local here, flew them all the way there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got to go where the talent is.
Yeah. It's the most expensive 40 seconds of my life. Here we go.
Well, I could disagree, but
I've been paid more, but here we go.
Phil, well done as always.
Every penny.
Good Lord. I can't believe you paid those St. Martin people to fly all the way out there to take 7 pictures that were online. That is amazing.
I said, duplicate these exact photos.
Whatever you do, don't stray from Google Images.
Don't get creative.
Don't get creative.
I got to say that the brewery, Harland Brewing, looks exactly like the can.
Yep.
Like they got an image that they just went all in on, and I like that.
Well, it's extremely clean. It looks like a really nice Applebee's, like not like your neighborhood Applebee's, like where your neighbor goes and gets shit housed.
I thought that was what it was. Isn't it like your what is it called?
It's neighborhood. Yeah, it's like your neighborhood, whatever.
Like
I don't remember the tagline
spot.
for Applebee's.
Quick, someone in the chat.
No, but it looks well vested. Is all I mean by that, in the sense that we know this looks good. We know people like it. We know this. Let's make that around that, and it's going to be clean. It's going to be consistent. There's not going to be any changes.
Yeah, they definitely went for the let's please everyone look.
Correct. Which is what I've been doing.
Yeah, like no one's walking in there. I mean, you could walk in there and be like, it doesn't have enough like character and charm for me. I'm more of like a down and dirty type, but like,
Sure.
Yeah, you are. Sorry, what?
you know it.
No, I
But
didn't.
like anyone who goes in there is just going to be like, yeah, this is nice. Like no one's going to be offended by it. No
Oh, this
one's
is
going to be
perfect.
bothered by it.
This is the comment. Our beer lines are clean. Look.
Yeah.
Exactly. When
Like-
I walk in there, I don't think I'm gonna get a dirty ass fucking tap beer.
And if I do, I will be like, you are lying to me from
And
the moment I walked in.
second best comment, agreed. Applebee's should make a beer featured around their honey mustard because I can be as old as I am. If I go to an Applebee's because I'm obviously being punished or traveling, I will get honey mustard
It might
and
just be
chicken
the
tenders.
closest-
Oh, 1000%. It's the only thing I get there. The amount I have so much honey mustard in me from the amount that Gabriel and I used to drink in high school. Drink it. I didn't say eat it. I said drink it.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of information.
So much.
I
Yeah.
don't know if
That's
I've
where
got
I got this rockin' bod.
Eating good in the neighborhood. Thank you, Abby.
I was like,
And Vero, Abby, yes.
I can tell they saw each other this past weekend.
True story.
yes. We all hung out. We took a train. It was great. They didn't have an observation car, and I was so sad.
Observation car. Did you see the train pull up? That was the
What are
observation.
you observing? Maryland? Like,
Hey, man, it's pretty.
You guys
There's-
know how I feel about Maryland. So
It's not Maryland. I
gold.
never made it to Maryland.
Gold.
I didn't make it to Maryland.
We have been to Maryland.
I meant in this train.
Oh, yeah.
Not
All right.
like overall. I'm just talking about this weekend.
Okay.
well, let's get into this beer. I think I'm gonna like this brewery regardless of their like not necessarily unique creative style, but I think from what I was reading, they want to be like just all over San Diego. They just want to be a San Diego beer. And I think they made the right choice making it like this. But let's get into some trivia.
Trivia or no, it's not trivia. I think it's
Is
called
it not
history.
trivia?
Yeah, it's history and facts. All right. So if you're unfamiliar with this show, A, thank you for stopping by. B, this is the portion of the show where we're going to go through a little bit of history and facts, which is actually pretty much just trivia. So if you're logged in through Facebook or YouTube, you can comment along with us as well. So as we ask the trivia questions, please feel free to leave your comments, answer the questions, and be as wrong as I normally am. And tonight we are doing trivia on Hazy IPA, which is from Harland Brewing out of San Diego. So let's see what dumb shit I wrote about this place.
You have one trivia question. That is a whole block of text.
I mean, that one is a big one. Yeah. All right. This one's nice and simple. This is a shooting
It's
fish
a
in a barrel.
classic.
Shooting fish in a barrel. What year did Harland Brewing Company open its doors? Trick question. Not when they were founded.
15.
Oh,
B.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I thank you for telling me it was a trick question.
You're welcome. I felt like I needed to put that out there because if you read a little
Clarify
bit
it.
about them, it goes a different place. But
Because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I think they were founded around 2013, but I'm pretty sure they didn't like open any brewery. But Vero answers so early that I'm like, and I'm wrong.
I just gotta I throw it out real fast. I gotta
Yeah.
just quick with the answers.
I mean, I was gonna say 2015. I thought that in my head. I thought they opened in 2013. I assume it would have taken them about 2 years to get like a brick and mortar going. But Vero says D, so I'm assuming I'm wrong. But I have to stick to
Vero-
my original thought.
Vero is 100% wrong.
Ooh,
No, I'm just kidding.
uh,
Could you imagine though if I really just
you got me so excited. I was like,
I know.
what?
It was like, oh, I gotta leave. I got something going on here. No, so this is kind of a trick question because
Their doors open every day at 11.
solid. No, this is kind of a trick question because technically 2019, yes, when their actual physical brick and mortar doors opened. But 2017, even all the way back to 2015, the owner was already doing some gypsy brewing, already seeking out investors, already building a brand. 2017 was probably the closest to when he actually got his collective investors involved and said, I'm going to have a brick and mortar.
How many of them were there?
That's a question upcoming. But yes, 2019 technically is when they opened a brick and mortar and opened the doors to the store. But he's been in that game a long time and doing a lot of gypsy brewing and contract brewing prior to that. So
It's a good year.
it was a great year.
It's back when I still thought things were normal.
What?
Yeah.
2000 when?
19. Before the pandemic. I mean, technically.
I don't even remember the pandemic, man. You mean beer time? The pandemic? That was beer time.
Yeah.
There was a pandemic?
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. So on the Dutch side of the island, there was not a pandemic, but the other side really cracked down.
Real bad.
Yeah. They did not. All right. As Tiffany alluded to with her last answer, how many initial investors did the owner Josh Landon have involved in Harland Brewing Company?
You didn't even put them in order.
That's
I
my
know. He didn't do this last week either. It drove me crazy.
You're a monster. And I put the slides together. And
You're all monsters because you need them in order.
I was just putting them, like, copy pasting them into the slides.
Abby, we're not talking about tradition. We're talking about Harland Brewing. How many did they have?
Now, I did a little bit of research on Josh.
Okay.
And so I do know that he's been successful before.
Right.
So I have a feeling he was able to get a lot of investors. So I think Abby's close, but I think it's too high. So I'm going with D47. Big old D.
Big D.
Go with C.
I'm going to go with that. Well, that was just a burp, actually. That's not anything.
That's not the answer.
In regards to the game. Right.
Nailed it. Nailed the D.
Nailed the D. So yeah, this one's crazy to me because it's, I made the joke with Abby from Tradition about having a lot of investors, because having a lot of investors creates a lot of different headaches and problems for a brewery that need creativity or need to be able to do what they want to do, but the money involved changes that. So yes, he did have 47 original investors. And like Phil alluded to, it sounds like he did some research on Josh, but he actually ran a brewery prior to Harland that he sold to Miller Coors, which was like a decent sale. He built a small brewery and sold it to Coors Light, basically, if you want to really get into it. But he sold it to Coors Light and did okay for himself.
Also, I didn't know this, and Abby mentioned it.
What?
But you said it had B52. So it was the B52.
Solid.
I didn't even notice that. And I'm so sorry.
Solid. Yeah, I apologize. That's lame on all of our ends.
Did you not notice it either?
No, I did not.
Damn.
Yeah. So, but it's interesting.
It's interesting to me that, having that many investors, once again, this can is starting to make sense. The look of the brewery is starting to make sense.
Correct.
To get 47 different people on board with a certain style, look, image, you got to do something
what I mentioned earlier. Like, the more that I dug into this, like, person in this brewery, I was like, oh, this is coming together.
I mean, in theory, if you set up the governance model of the brewery,
no one knows what the governance model is.
Okay, well, if you have a board or a steering committee that's going to be making decisions,
so now we need a board and a steering wheel.
Never mind.
We're just making a go-kart at this point.
I'm just saying, there's more efficient ways to run a business than having 47 people with a voice.
I mean, I think Josh is doing fine.
I'm just saying.
I think Josh has been successful at making,
well, Josh isn't here, is he? So
Josh isn't here, is he?
Yeah, because he's too busy making money.
Dealing with all the investors.
Yes. He's on the phone with 46 people right now going, oh my God, I hope they're not watching this.
We're trying to keep them busy for
right, yeah.
That's why they couldn't make it. They're like, we got to entertain some people for a little while. Hopefully they just don't notice it, on the internet.
All right,
Daniel, I'm seeing the text for this next one.
Yeah,
I'll take
it's
care of it.
Awful.
But good news.
I had to reduce the font size.
Good news. We get to pour the beer and try it throughout my next paragraph. So we are halfway through trivia, which means historically we are going to pour our show beer. And
No, I need you
so that we can try it as we go through the rest of trivia. So we get a full round flavor profile and picture of it before we review it. Before we give this thing 1.25 bottle caps.
They didn't show up. They're getting a low score tonight.
Could you
Josh.
imagine? Could you imagine?
Did you get Josh?
I'm going to get a huge hate email from Josh tomorrow, I think.
Also, where are your 47 investors not watching our show? Like, this is important stuff.
Oh no, they invested. They don't have any free time. So
they're just watching it on one big screen at the brewery right now. That's what I assume. There's only one account logged in.
Yeah, only one.
True story.
San Diego.
The whale's vagina. Let's get into it. Not the whale's vagina.
All right.
Yes, the next question. All right. So this one's a little long-winded. Follow me on this one. So Harland's Hazy IPA, which we're having tonight, is brewed
Isn't
with...
an IPA acronym, so it should be all capitalized?
Okay, great. Didn't you put the slides in?
I
You
copied
could
and
have fixed
pasted your
that.
shit, man.
Harland's Hazy IPA. Just keep going.
IPA, it's the name of the IPA, is brewed with Southern Cross and Cashmere hops. Southern Cross, the hop strain, is a result of a hop breeding program out of New Zealand featuring what two hops? Smooth Cone and Fuggle, Pacifica and Matuka, Cascade and Chinook, or Vic Secret and Yakima Gold.
Ugh.
I swiped left on this question.
I know. I know this one.
It's not on the can. How dare it?
No, it does have the hops on the can, but not.
We're going to go with D.
I'm going to go with C. But I'm a little concerned about what Southern Cross is.
I almost went with A. Damn it. That was my other one. I was like, can't remember.
There's no way Fuggle is a real thing.
It is a real thing.
It
We
is
put
a-
it in
we-
our Saison.
We talked about it on the show before, Phil. You should
Yeah.
watch some episodes.
I don't watch the show. I barely listen to this show.
These do sound like marijuana strains. I'll give you that one, Gabriel.
Yeah.
Yes, but also
Yeah.
all hops sound like marijuana strains.
Because they're cousins.
Yeah, they're pretty close in the old DNA strain. So yes, it is Smooth Cone and Fuggle. So A is correct, and this was kind of interesting because they used.
You know, be better if they called it Smooth Fuggles.
That's a whole beer name. That's not a
But
hop
that's
name. Smooth Fuggles.
Smooth Fuggle. That's a good name for a beer.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like that's a good beer name.
Yeah, but it could have also been the instead of
Or it could
Southern
be-
Cross.
Or it could be Fuggle Rock.
Fuggle Rock. Get the fuck out of here. All right.
We need to write these things down.
Yeah,
These are
that's
weird.
definitely a future show beer. Fuggle Rock.
Fuggle Rock is gold. So
We put a little Muppet. Like
just don't. Not. It's not a Muppet.
I know they're little puppets.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the interesting one with this is, and I didn't realize this, but Southern Cross has been around since '94. So like the New Zealand like hop like experiment strain stuff where they've been crossbreeding stuff for a long time. This hop's been around since '94. This is the first time I've ever seen it and like heard anything about it. And I did like I reached out to a couple of our like brewery friends in the area. So I talked to folks at Coastal. I talked to Kevin over at Tradition.
I even gave you Vic Secret. I should have known that wasn't the right answer.
Yeah, I know.
Because you were like, give me some names.
I was like, just give me some other hop names when I was writing trivia. But
I think I gave you B, C, and D.
the funny part is like other people like also were like, nope, never heard of it. And they're like, oh, it's New Zealand. Oh, well, New Zealand doesn't miss. And I'm like, I'm right. I agree. But it's been around since
I don't know. I don't trust those Kiwis.
1994. And the interesting part is that Smooth Cone is actually no longer naturally available. So they basically had to clone it, and they've been using variations or sisters of the original Smooth Cone to mix with this Fuggle variation to make Southern Cross, which is like a weird ass science project that sounds super cool, but none of those people drink beer. All the people making this shit don't drink beer.
I disagree.
Oh, they drink beer, but like one.
That's how you're supposed to drink these.
Nah, it's garbage.
2 at best.
2 at best. See you in the morning then.
Okay.
I mean, I saw Southern Cross, but I only saw it at my grandmother's on Fox News. So
Fair. And
do
all I
not
could think
know.
of was like a weird 70s song when I saw Southern Cross. I was like,
Yeah.
Southern Cross. Oh, no, I can't. I ain't got it.
Yeah.
All right, last question.
Maybe. Oh, how many tasting rooms does Harland Brewing Company have? That's a weird place to put a pause. One.
Now this one, I know that they're trying to like. I had read about their goal being like to like just basically be all over San Diego.
Yep.
Which I love the fact that John, like, is that his name, John?
Correct.
Josh.
Josh. Thank you. I like that Josh like made a beer, like sold that brewery, and then it was just like, I just want to make a home beer for my people in San Diego. I want to be everywhere. And he's done it so far. I don't know how many there are though. I want to say there's 3 or 4.
I was going to say they're probably shooting for 7, but I'm going to say 4.
But I think they're probably going to make a few more. And just because now that I know it's not Daniel, this is the last trivia question, right?
Yes.
All right. So Josh was
Oh, sorry, my bad.
coming in. Josh, he created St. Archer Brewing, which I think is wild that he did this.
Yep.
And then sold it and then made this brewery. And the other thing was too, is when he sold it, he had a 2-year waiting period after he sold it where he couldn't make beer.
Yep.
Correct. So that's where the 2015
non-compete.
A non-compete. Yeah. So that was really interesting because when you follow the time frame on it, so sold in 2013, 2 years, 2015. He still waited a hair before he got bored enough to go back into brewing. 17 rolls around. He's kind of gypsy brewing, kind of collecting people around town to be like, hey, I've done this. Anybody?
Yeah. And like, once again, like what investor doesn't sign on to the guy who sold a small brewery to Coors?
Especially after 2 years. That is a weird feat. When I saw that number come across, I was like, holy shit. Like 2 years. Like the basic business model is 5 years before you're successful. 2 years and you already offloaded it to like one of the largest manufacturers. Like, well done.
That was early in the like, oh, I love Park City.
I've never heard of it.
It's too bad.
I assume it's in California.
Nope.
Oh.
Mexico.
Yeah. Baja, Mexico, California,
It's
from
in
what I
Utah.
understand. Oh, Utah.
Yeah.
So
kind of a big deal. The Olympics were there.
huge
at one point
deal.
in time.
Oh yeah, great. The Olympics.
Daniel's a big Olympics guy.
Coordinate
It was
where I
Salt
spend
Lake
my
City
time.
and Park City were the 2
Yeah, great.
locations.
All right. How many tasting rooms do we have?
So it definitely is 4. But it is interesting, like you kind of touched on as well. Like they're all 4 in San Diego.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, but traffic is terrible, so you got to have them in different locations.
yeah,
to
you got to
look
get
at
a beer between all of
Well,
them.
because
you're
people
gonna
aren't going to be
sitting for a
wanting
long
to
time.
drive that long to get to that location. So the more you can branch out and make it closer,
It's not
and
about
more
traffic,
easily
Tiffany.
accessible. That is California. It is
It's
always
not about traffic. I think Phil nailed on the head. He's got enough money. He's already done.
I'm just saying, as
and he's
far
like,
as
I want breweries in my area.
yeah, but as far
He
as
just wants hometown. He wants to become like the beer of San Diego. And he's designing breweries
You should name it Wales
designed
Virginia.
off of becoming that. Like, give it a few years, you're probably going to see a Harland brewery on like all over the place in San Diego. Like, it fits every model. It works in San Diego. It's a total look of San Diego. The guy knows what he's doing.
What is the traffic model in San Diego that you're trying to touch
I
on?
am simply saying that people aren't going to be driving more than 20 minutes to get a local beer. If you have multiple locations, you're going to be able to get all of those groups of people. That's all.
Fair. Yeah.
It's a solid logical argument, but thank you for letting me get it out.
But 20 minutes to drive to get a beer. Is
That's
not
a lot.
bad.
In like that area, because that is rough.
Hey, let's review this beer.
Wait, no, wait. All right.
So I lived in Utah for
Terrible liquor
4
laws.
years. And it was still when you had to have a card to get into the bars, and you had to pay like a subscription fee basically. It was rough.
Did I cut off a part of the show, Daniel?
No. But Carol would like to tell us that each neighborhood gets a B. Is that something I'm missing?
Everyone just getting B's?
Is there like, oh, you're in a new
brewery? I think is
have a B.
I
mean, the B.
You just get a B that just buzzes around, pissing you off the whole time.
I'm so comfortable with this.
It's just
I love that like her R key is broken, so there's like a B. Oh, a beer.
I love that I still had no idea what she was talking about until you just said.
I thought Tiffany was right. I thought she meant brewery, and I was like, oh, it's just her R key and Y key that's broken. She's got BEE.
Yep. Get your buzz on. It's their logo.
True story.
Mom needs to open a brewery. Marketing.
I love it.
I love a beer called Everyone Gets a B.
Everyone gets a B. It's the Oprah of beers.
Yeah, it's more of just, it's the not quite an overachiever A. You're a B.
Everyone gets a B.
Like, we make beer. It's probably not going to win any awards, but here you go.
There's so many routes to go with that. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Josh, if you're watching this show, which I get it, you're not. Everyone gets a B. Just hear me out on this one.
Fuggle Rock.
Fuggle Rock.
Smooth Fuggle.
Fuggle Rock is already copyrighted. We've already.
Yeah. You have to brew it with us if you want it. Right.
All right. So we're going to review this beer. Again, tonight we are reviewing Harland Brewing's Hazy IPA. If you're unfamiliar with the show, we do use Untapped to review these beers. So it's 1 to 5 bottle caps. 1 being I just drank a bunch of garbage. 5 being I just had an orgasm I've never had before. So
we've been there.
And by never had an orgasm, I mean I've never had orgasm.
Okay.
Okay, Phil.
Good talk, soldier.
All right. So, Phil, I think you were the greatest hater on this beer can, so I'm interested to hear what you think of this beer first.
So I'm really mad. I'm very upset because I was so excited to not like this beer.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be just like fine. That's kind of the like based off the look of it, based off that, I was like, it's gonna be fine. And I hate that it's really good. Because I keep wanting beers that are not good, and it basically just like nailed a hazy IPA. Like there's not anything wrong with it. It's not like mind-blowing, but it literally, if you're gonna call a beer hazy IPA, they nailed it. Like they gave me a hazy IPA. There's nothing going on here that's not exactly what you're telling me it is. So because it's not like amazingly thrilling, because it's as basic as its name, but it's not a bad beer. I'm just going solid 4.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I agree with you. It is a very basic hazy in a sense that it's not overly hazy. It's not overly juicy. It's not overly fruited. Like it's just basic in the sense that it's a softer version of an IPA. So I'm going to go with you with a 4.
I'm going to disagree with both of you. I think this is a way more complicated hazy IPA.
Oh, every time it's more basic, it's always more complicated.
Correct.
Like as far as it's much easier to mask.
Right, yeah, exactly. Right. No, exactly. I mean, I know where you guys are coming from, but I think...
I can't remember any of the hazy IPAs right now, so I just gave it a 4 because I don't know.
That's fair. So with the oats that they used in this to like give it some of the smoothness and some of the like really creamy mouthfeel that takes away some... Mouthfeel. We all went to church. We know what creamy mouthfeel is.
That's on our Creamy Mouthfeel Sunday podcast.
Oh God, could you even imagine?
It's just ASMR of us just eating stuff. Can
you even imagine how many Mississippi people we get to watch that? All right, so
what?
super really creamy to be a hazy IPA. It takes away a lot of that hop burn.
Mm-hmm.
And it is funny because with the hop variation that they did use and the complexity of it, it is one of the things I read about it was sugar, spice, and everything nice. And that's exactly what it is, but it was citrus, spice, and everything nice. So it cleans it up quite a bit.
Yep.
It makes it really easy to drink. It takes away some of the hop burn. This is a 4.25 for me,
Okay.
easy, from a hazy IPA standpoint.
Nice.
I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's so
Everyone gets a B.
it's so well done. Like it's not. The problem with me is like it doesn't excite me, but it's so well done. And then to me, it fits the name so well. You know, it's like, you want a hazy IPA? We've got the perfect hazy IPA. It's not going to excite you. It's not going to.
I got the beer for you.
Oh
God! You're not gonna be mad about it. You're just gonna be like, it tastes exactly like what I ordered.
I think I disagree. So normally when you get a hazy IPA, like, so if you go get a heady topper tomorrow or a focal banger, it is so much hop burn and so hazy.
It's
and
like
that's
a chewier version.
That's
and
the
this is
standard New England IPA
Yes.
or hazy. I think this is way smoother. I think this is the West Coast whittling down in New England and making it more palatable across the United States.
Yeah.
I find there's a little difference in a New England and a hazy, though.
I mean, I'll give you that, but normally for me,
I find New England's to be a little juicier, which gives them kind of that burn because there's like a little more of that like orange citrus, whereas like a hazy doesn't have that. So to me, like they nailed the hazy.
Fair, yeah.
So,
but aren't you from New
yes.
Juicy as fuck. I just wanted to point it out.
You know I'm juicy.
What is wrong with you?
So what is that? That gives it a show score of
4.
what? 4? Right? Because you guys were both 4.
Yeah.
Wait, what did Vero say? Hold on.
She also said 4.
Did she?
Very bottom, right there.
That's a no for me, dog, she said. Nope, it's a 4 for me. I see it now.
Yeah. It's such a good beer. Like it's such an, if I just want an everyday hazy in my fridge, this is a perfect for that. Yep. Like it's weird that it's weird that when something's so well done, it doesn't get a higher score for me, but it's like you nailed it, but like you didn't thrill me. You just kind of nailed exactly what you said you were going to do.
Well, and yeah, and some of that is like the like availability of beer now. So I want something that's going to be out of the box. I want something out of the ordinary, but like anybody that drinks beer, once you're done having all these wild, dumb variations of some stupid shit, I'd like a good lager. I'd like a really clean Pilsner. I'd like a really great hazy IPA. Like, and then it's like, okay, good. Now I'm back to my palate, and then I can move forward.
Yeah, I just.
And if I walk into a brewery that looks the way Harland looks, that has this can, this is exactly what I expect.
Yep, I want
with 47 investors. Yeah, you're making something that's
correct,
loved by all.
Her name was Karen. And she reached out to us directly. She was the only one willing to be on the show. And I said, no, with a name like that, Karen, no, ma'am, you cannot be on the show. Not after everything we've been through.
Also, this feels like so much beer since I've been just drinking these all the time. I'm like, how much beer is this?
Yeah.
That's always my favorite. After you've been drinking like you know, base level beers. Like
but he's also drinking small ones.
And small ones, yeah. And you're drinking a 16-ounce hazy. It's only like 2% more alcohol, but it feels like you're drinking a whole gallon of it.
It is a lot of beer. Oh, God, I still have more in this one, too.
It's sitting well, though. Sometimes hazies get a little too, but you're right. It gets rid of that hop burn, and it's drinkable.
Yep.
It's not crushable, but it's drinkable.
No, fair enough. Crushable is a whole different level, and hazies will never live in that world.
Everyone's
all right. Let's go through every brewer's favorite thing that they love. We'll go through it quick, but we are now going to go through Untapped to find out what some other people thought about this beer and see if we are on the same page.
Oh, they hated it.
There we go.
All right, hold on.
Very pale and extremely hazy appearance, mildly floral fragrance. On the tongue, it's very bubbly and creamy. Tropical juice flavors in abundance with a slightly sticky resinous finish, quite smooth and easy to drink. Doug,
Yeah.
I feel like that is a really solid review, and I appreciate it.
It's a great review.
I
But
was just going to say that.
Doug is also at the Copper Jackalope, which concerns me. I think that's a whorehouse. And then on top of that, he got the Find the Source level 23 badge. What's 5 times 23?
A lot.
No, it's not a lot.
5 times 3.
That's his 23rd badge, which means he
5,
found the source.
2,
He went to where the beer was brewed.
So 155.
100 plus beers of going to the brewery, finding where the beer was brewed or whatever.
No, it's not 155.
Hey, but if he's in Arizona, how is he where the beer is brewed?
Because he's at the Copper Jackalope. The rules don't
It's
apply there.
probably a like brew pub where they have others.
It's a verified venue is all it is. So that's the Find the Source aspect of Untapped. So it's a verified venue. He went there. He found a beer that was verified, and they were verified. So he found
115. That's where I was like, hold on, I messed up. It's like
I gotta say here though, with Doug, I respect this review so much.
Yep.
Like, I wish I could write reviews like this.
every once in a while I do, but then I'm like,
Phil,
that's boring.
We've been doing this horse shit for a fucking year. You can write a review like this. Just
No.
spend 2
I
minutes
don't have a
not
palate
getting
that can
shithoused
understand
on
everything. I
writing.
was just like, I don't like it's not just the I got nothing compared to Doug.
Doug, the only thing you don't have that Doug has is he's at the Copper Jackalope. And I don't know what this place is, but I'm interested.
I think they also have Southern Cross there. Let's just
One of my favorite tracks.
Also, yeah, it has been 2 years, by the way.
Whoa, that looks like pineapple juice.
Yes. Source of breweries only.
Light, easy drinking.
So it's breweries only, so it's more that he's just getting it on draft.
Hey,
It seems like a weird badge.
any game goes down very easy.
Well, Bub's
I
at
don't
the
like
ballpark.
this badge.
Bub's at the
Again.
ballpark.
Colin is at Bub's at the ballpark.
No. Bub's at the ballpark. Colin goes by Bub's.
Nope.
That's why you check it in that way.
He's Colin Hayes, so he obviously knows Hazy's.
He does, and apparently his beer came frozen.
And he also earned the Bar Explorer level 8 badge. So if you get a badge on Untapped and it's less than 30 level wise, don't even talk to me.
I mean, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, it's called preschool. Drink a beer, man.
Also, this is a pretty strong pregame hazy.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
You're pre-gaming at like a 6.5er. Like that's.
Oh yeah, Colin
You're
didn't.
not making it through the whole game if you're pre-gaming with a 6.5.
Colin did not make the game.
No,
He was happy his Marlins lost, and he was unconscious in the parking lot.
I got level 44 New Brew Thursday.
Correct.
That's the hardest one to get.
Whoa,
Ooh,
pretty gas.
whoa.
It's in a tree, but
But
Oh,
with
is
the
that
mirror.
a tree? I thought that was an oil spill.
no, it's in a tree, but then there's the flash behind it, so it's reflecting off of something.
Oh, it's in Santa Cruz, so we know it's not water.
Oh,
Probably
Is
just
it-
oil.
Miles.
Did he go and
Cruz.
put the beer in the tree and then go back inside and take the photo from the window? Like this guy thought he was getting real artsy, and then his flash.
this guy was like,
"Uh,
"Fuck you, Grandma.
works."
I went to photography school."
Also, he
cell
could
phone
just be-
photography school."
He could just ride Santa Cruz boards. He doesn't necessarily because he's in Los Angeles.
On the plus side, he got it at Trader Joe's, which is where I also got this beer.
Ah, nice. I have some notes though. I mean, Untapped at home,
Pretty gas.
level 2. He's had 10
Pretty
beers on
gas.
Untapped at home. He's also had 10 beers. that are
Listen, Miles
less
is
than-
just getting started, man. We can't. fault
Miles.
him
This
for
is
it.
from like 12 years ago.
It's from literally the 28th, 2 days ago.
Oh yeah, he is wicked new. Miles, you stop by the show, man.
What is
Or-
pretty gas?
As some dumb California term
I've
that I'm
never
sure
heard of
Tiffany
it.
knows.
No cap,
Looks like a cell phone taking pic.
100%.
Well,
Potato quality.
Cell phones can't take pics.
Look, why don't you go try to kill that bee? You're a little, like, I'm worried about you.
Is Colin Hayes related to Sarah Stout? Oh, they're not that lucky.
Well, and we know a Sarah Porter as well.
Yeah, we know a Sarah Porter as well. Yeah.
So good.
Hi, what is this one?
I was supposed to be working out. Me too,
Yeah.
meat in hand. Oh, he's working out. All right.
Yeah, he's jerking off.
Meat.
Unfortunately, it's too. Oh my god! What weird baseball is he watching?
It's
I
gonna be
love the
minor
idea
league.
of someone logging into Untapped and just being like, "What should my name be?"
Meat in hand,
Hey man, yeah, that makes sense.
just in case
No,
my wife finds
No,
me.
it's like those things of like whatever you were last doing
Mhm.
plus like your favorite food
Yep.
or whatever. Like that's your name.
No,
Yep.
his meat was in his hand. Let's be honest.
Right.
Well, poor meat in hand.
Yeah, too bad for him. It sounds like a good time, but that's fine.
I mean, you do you, boo.
Well, I got to.
All right, well, that was the Untapped reviews. I think everyone was kind of on the same page as us. There were some high scores there. It's a good all-around beer for sure. And once again, I found this at Trader Joe's, which is always I never know if being in Trader Joe's is a good sign for a brewery or not, but this kind of seems like the brewery that would be in a Trader Joe's to me.
Yep.
Well, I think because we had the home chicken on last weekend or last week, and he was talking about
2 weeks ago, the milk stout.
Yeah, he was talking about how he gets them into Trader Joe's because they only like purchase so many and then they get them out, and so like knowing their like operating model when it comes to how they're getting beers in and out, and it's a great place to sell your beers. Like, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's a worse idea if people are being slow with their turnover. So if you're buying in small, purchase the amounts.
True.
To me, it seems like if you can get into Trader Joe's, you can kind of get some of your stock out, get it out there, and then, because they kind of pick and go, they kind of change it up a lot.
Yep,
it's like a good way to just be like, clear it out, and then, come back in.
They're just purchasing in small quantities.
And I remember being in the Trader Joe's in LA when I picked this up, and I remember looking at the can going, it looks basic, but I said to myself, San Diego makes good beers because they do. They have a ton of breweries down there.
Yep.
And I said, I bet you this is going to be good, and I'm going to be mad that it's good. And
here you are. Yep.
And here you are, dummy.
Here I am.
Yeah.
Yes, Talea was really
Joe's.
excited to be in Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's is a popular like grocery store. People like go to Trader Joe's. They'll drive further, myself included, to get to Trader Joe's. Well, you weren't invited.
And it's definitely a place that a craft beer drinker would want to find beer. Like
they have a really good wine and beer selection, like wherever you go, and they do usually try to have local ones. And then Trader Joe's also contract brews like through larger companies, and then just rebrands it for their Trader Joe's stuff.
It was our first show.
It was.
Yeah, I think we had an episode on that. If you go to wishyouwerebeershow.com, you can find Drive Through Red, which was one of our first beers we reviewed.
Was our first live show.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it sound, maybe it wasn't
very blurry at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, super blurry.
Yeah,
that was potato quality.
Yeah, I look like Robert Downey Jr. from the 80s, like crack Robert Downey Jr.
And everyone just thought I was obviously Robert Plant.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got one last section to get through. It's our favorite section that everyone prepares for every week.
I actually am ready.
Oh, Tiffany's going first.
All right, so this is the portion of the show, if you're unfamiliar with it, where we're going to take a second to reflect on what we wish was actually beer versus what it really is. So, and apparently Tiffany really pre-planned.
I'm ready.
So go.
I wish multitasking was beer because it's very easy for me to drink a beer and do anything else. Very difficult to operate on my, Windows XP level memory, where I really can't keep track of everything.
I'm on Windows 95 over here. So.
XP, man. I feel like
Wayne coming in hot.
So,
hello.
Sorry.
But yeah, I wish multitasking was beer because again, it's easy for me to multitask while drinking a beer. Very difficult for me to multitask any other two or multiple things.
Fair. I can understand that.
I had like 4. That's how.
You had 4 beers?
No, I had like 4 different options for this.
I was like, fuck.
That one just seemed like the easiest. I was so ready this week.
American Fuggle. Hold on.
Fuggle Rock.
Fuggle Rock. We got to stop throwing that out because somebody's going to steal that. All right.
Yeah, they are.
All right, Phil, I'll go next because I assume yours is a banger. Yeah, every time I expect so little out of you, you show up and just wreck everything. And I'm
Knock it out of the park.
Yes.
Opening day.
You're
Look at you.
You're like the Barry Bonds of
It's
steroids.
opening day of volleyball?
I don't know.
What sport?
Sammy Sosa.
The Sammy Sosa of home run championship. Oh, wait, hold on. You're the Mark McGuire of the Cardinals. Oh, no.
I am full of drugs.
I am full of drugs. Mine's really easy because I put this shirt on today, and Phil, I'm sure you understand the reference, but this is our college roommate shirt that was sent to me after he passed away. Yeah. So this is Steve's shirt, but it also made me think, fuck, I gotta buy some clothes. So I wish clothes were beer because I buy beer fucking weekly, every day in some capacity, and I haven't bought clothes since our old roommate died.
No,
That's the same amount of time I
bought
spent in the
some-
same fucking clothes.
The man died 7 years ago, and he bought that shirt in college, which was 10 years before that.
Thank you. So I wish clothes were beer because I'd buy a lot more updated clothes and be more relevant.
Well, if at this point the clothes from back then are coming back.
Oh, 100%.
Like Gabriel's been wearing cargo shorts since 99.
He's a sweet boy.
I don't know if my mom is still watching, but this is 100% something that she told me while I was going through high school. If I wish I would have saved all my clothes because you're wearing them now. I literally said the same thing to my kids of like, man, you're literally wearing everything that I wore. I had that. And so now I'm officially at that stage of my life.
I love it.
I do love to think that like there's going to be like proms that are like based off the 90s. It's going to be like 90s themed prom.
Oh, God.
And, like, kids are going to be showing up in Jinkos and soaps and just sliding all over the place.
It's just
that won't be the only grinding they're doing.
Bright geometric patterns.
All right, Phil, what do you got?
All right, so this is just to make y'all feel like shit. Yep. I wish going to Ireland was beer because I'm going to be gone for the next 2 episodes because I will be in Ireland. I will be drinking beer in Dublin, and I'm super excited about it.
I love it. What does that have to do with beer?
No, we already talked about.
Oh, it doesn't. I just wanted to rub it in that I was going to Ireland.
Yeah, thanks. Really appreciate that.
So Vero and I are going to Ireland, and we are going to be going to Guinness. So I'm going to be pouring my own beer. If I'm sober enough to think about it, I'll shoot videos for the show.
You should.
Chances are I will not be.
Don't worry.
Vero's going to take care of it.
Vero will be responsible.
Take pictures of you not sober enough to take pictures, and it's going to be great.
I'll say it right now. Vero, you have full approval to post whatever I do in Ireland.
Yes.
Woo.
And put it on the Wish You Were a Beer Show social media. So starting next Thursday, you better follow us, especially on the TikToks. We're going to blow up.
Huge on the TikToks. Pre-ban TikTok.
Yeah, I'm going to be all over that TikTok. I'm going to be throwing up all over it. So I'm pretty excited, though. I'm going to be drinking with a bunch of Irish people who I know I can compete with, right?
Oh,
that's how it 100%. Well, you got the skin tone.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I can totally go drink to drink with Irish people, I'm sure.
Toe to toe. Conor McGregor, happy to be here.
All right. Abby wishes other people's poor planning was beer because then she would have spent an extra 2 hours drinking today.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good one.
Kevin.
Also, does your Airbnb have a loft with a ladder? Andrew agrees with Abby. Yes, second that. Vero is apparently invading Ukraine.
What?
I assume that's what Putin does with some regularity.
Yeah.
No, that's North Korea guy.
North Korea guy.
Yeah,
what is
whatever.
North Korea guy's name?
Kim Jong-un.
Ah, yeah.
I had to get there. I had to get there, and it wasn't.
I know. I saw
happening at the moment.
When you said North Korea guy, I was like, oh shit, she doesn't know his name.
Nope. And
Let's
the wheels were spinning and they just weren't quite going fast enough because again, here I'm trying to multitask and I'm not.
I got the power. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
All right. So that being said, Phil is going to be traveling with Vero. You guys are going to be hanging out, having the time of your lives, and we're going to do the show again next week without you.
But
And
it's my birthday.
Oh, it is Tiffany's. Next Thursday is Tiffany's birthday show. So on her actual birthday. So good luck, everyone.
Yep. I took the day off.
Good luck getting through that episode.
I don't work on my birthday.
Fucking gold. So that being said, though, we are going to be doing a beer from a couple of good friends of ours down at 1700 Brewing, which is out of Newport News. And we're going to have the owner on there. And he also runs a brew your own beer shop, if you will.
It's a brew and bottle.
A homebrew shop, if you will, depending on which side of the science you fall on. But I'm excited for it. He's a good friend of ours. We're looking forward to having him on the show. So
he's our bowling buddy.
I'm sad to miss out on that show because we haven't had like a home brewing shop person on yet. And I
We
think
have
that's
not.
no,
really interesting.
I am so excited.
Ah,
Oh,
I wish
I
the blizzard outside was beer easier to brush off the car.
That's
True.
Yeah. Although the blizzard can also chill your beers while you're brushing off the car.
I made a snowfa
Excuse
with
me?
cup holders.
I'm sorry, you're not supposed to say that word.
Yeah, that's
Snowfa.
not
It's
not
a
normal.
snow sofa.
Oh, snow sofa.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
What
fair.
were you thinking?
You don't want to know.
You don't want to get into it.
Yeah, you want to know.
Well, join us next week because it's my birthday.
And we'll be talking about snow buzz.
I said snow.